My name's Javaad Alipoor. I'm a writer, director and theatre maker. This show, Rich Kids, is the second part of a trilogy of plays that began with Believers Are But Brothers. It comes out of thinking about the same package of things, so social media, the rise of digital technology, and what these things are telling us about who we really are, and actually sometimes revealing quite deep truths about who we've been all along. I became fascinated in 2018 when, obviously I'm partially of Iranian heritage, and during the recent unrest in Iran, I like to joke about it as like season 6 of the Arab Spring. During the recent unrest, one of the things that helped to power and shape people's anger and frustration was a sense of resentment about the growing gap between the rich and the poor in a country that's been sort of crippled by sanctions. And the rich kids on Instagram, if you like, in Iran, tend to be the kids of the people who run the regime, who are the same people telling everyone else that you've got to tighten your belt and pull together, and not having very much as a result of the sanctions is actually your national duty and your religious duty. And there was a brilliant interview in the New York Times with a young lad who'd been on the streets fighting the police, rioting, and he said, you know, our government tell us that we have to tighten our belts, that we're all in this together. But he said, we're not idiots, and we've all got Instagram. And that sort of hit me as quite an interesting question, like how Instagram is interacting with this growing gap between the rich and the poor, and the fact that we can see each other nowadays. And it's also fundamentally a show that's about looking at pictures of, you know, these ruling class people who don't appear to give any kind of a fuck, do you know what I mean, and just want to show what they've got and stuff. And that feeling that you get when you look at that of being at the end of things, at the end of the world. So that's what this show's about. As a political artist, I'm really interested in how form and story go together. So at the minute, you know, we're in the research for this show, we've thrown all kinds of interactive elements of that. Because this is a show that is kind of about the feeling of being the end of things, and kind of about how Instagram and Snapchat and picture sharing websites work. For sure, we're playing around with all kinds of ways to make that interactive, to see how the audience can get inside that. There's loads of experiments, there's loads of stuff to be played around with, but I would suspect that this will be another show where you're going to need to leave your phone on.